Alright, what's up guys? This is my build video for my Frost Warden. I wanted to kind of put it out there. A little disclaimer, I am a casual, so this is a very casual build, so before you trolls get on here and say, hey, your build's trash, yeah, I know. I get it. Build's trash. But here's the point. It's kind of been my mantra from the start. We play games to have fun, not to stress over what's the best. Now that's some people's things. I get it. Cool. You know, people are really good at it, and I don't hate on those guys. They're really great guys that min max and do all other stuff. But I like to make builds that everybody can obtain easily. That you can right out the gate get something, get the gear, have it playable, just like this. This is you're gonna see this. Now you're not gonna do like competitive, any form of competitive. No speed runs, no deaths, flawless anything. I mean you can, but it's going to be really hard with this stuff. So this stuff is for your typical four-man dungeons, normal mode trials, just people messing around, really. But I bet you a rupee, I bet you a whole rupee that there's people going to get on here and they're going to comment down below and they're going to say, "Hey, Casual Ranger, your build's trash, KYS." It happens. It's YouTube. It's the nature of the beast. It's whatever. It's cool though. Whatever. This build's for you guys, for you casuals. So let's get in real quick. Just like any build video, we're going to start with the gear, go into the skills, champion points. I'm going to show you some demonstrations here in this public dungeon here, and then we're going to run to my target dummy and I'm going to kind of go over the gear a little bit. So it's kind of a longer video, kind of two-part. So let's start with the gear. Alright, I'm a warden. Alright, I'm a high elf. Start with that first, then we'll get the gear. Warden, high elf. Now, this build revolves around cold damage, so I chose the high elf because of elemental talent. It gives me 4% extra frost damage. That's what I'm looking for. I want that. You know, Gift of Magnus is good, 10% max magicka, and spell charge 9% magic recovery. It's good. It's really great. It's great. Um, that's whatever. I'm not worried about that stuff. So, high elf, warden. Like I said, we're revolving around frost damage. I want you to remember that as I go over everything in here. So, the gear set that this build revolves around is going to be Winterborn. It drops in Maelstrom Arena, normal and veteran. A lot easier to get on normal. But, as you can see, I only have 2 pieces of Divines, and the rest is well fitted. I am blue in the face from trying to farm the Divine's legs, hands, and chest. Well fitted's fine because I roll dodge a little bit in PvP, so it's fine for now. My ultimate goal is to get all divines. I haven't seen it dropped in impen. I don't think it does. The forums say it doesn't drop in impen, so it's whatever. So I'm running 5-piece Winterborn. So what does it do? 945 max magicka, 126 magic recovery, 126 spell damage, 5 set bonus when you deal damage with a cold damage ability. I want you to remember that, cold damage abilities. I have an 8% chance to summon an ice pillar that deals 8,584 frost damage to all enemies in a 3-meter radius. The ice pillar persists for 2 seconds, reduces the movement speed of all enemies for 60%. So, remember, this is what we're revolving around. Before Morrowind and the Warden, this was kind of lackluster because you didn't have a lot of magic abilities that would proc this with the 8%. Now with the Warden, under Winter's Embrace, we got a few more that'll help us. So, that's my 5-piece. The 2-piece I'm running, pay attention, Iceheart. The 1-set bonus has 664 spell critical, which is good. And my 2-piece bonus, when I deal critical damage, just any kind of damage, just as long as it's critical damage, I get a 20% chance to gain a damage shield that absorbs 8,466 damage for 6 seconds. It's good. It's tanky, but you'll see that it works with this, because this is a close range. Even though we're using a staff, we want to fight up close. For 2 reasons, and I'm going to show you why. So, the damage shield helps us being up close, so we can take a lot of damage. And you'll see when I get in these fights how much little damage I take. So, damage shield for 6 seconds. While the damage shield holds, it deals 1,000 frost damage to all enemies within 5 meters of me. for every second. So every second I'm dealing 1,000 frost damage, which means each second for 6 seconds I have an 8% chance to proc Winterborn and deal that almost 9k damage. Area effect within 3 meter radius. So between these two, I want to stay within 3 meters. This one's 5 meters, this one's 3 meters. So I want to stay close to my enemies. Iceheart benefits us because it gives us the damage shield, so we're a little bit more tankier, so we can stand in the middle of it all and get this damage out to proc this. So those are the two sets. They synergize great together. I'm running 3-piece agility, or excuse me, 3-piece willpower. I'm retarded. 3-piece willpower for my rings, and then I'm just running a rando staff here. You could get a 4-piece if you want. I was running 4-piece Mother Sorrow. My spell critical was through the roof with it, but I feel I really didn't need it that much. I'm squeezing a little bit more damage out with willpower and then just these rando staffs. They're both ice staves because I want to deal frost damage to proc Winterborn. So both ice staves. My back bar one is the Crusher enchant, which reduces the target's physical and spell resistance. But my front one, I have it enchanted with the Frozen Weapon enchantment because I want to have that chance to deal that extra frost damage, which 4k is pretty hefty, and but I want it, so I have 2 chances to proc the 8% on this to get that out. So between my light attacks and hopefully proccing Frozen Weapon and this, that's 3 times we're trying to get that. We're looking at proccing that 8%. And we haven't even used our frost abilities yet. So that's my setup, my gear setup. Champion points, I don't do much with these. It's your standard run-of-the-mill. 100 Arcanist, increase my magic recover. Tenacity, increase the magicka that my heavy attacks restore. 10 into healthy. Or increases my health recovery. That's it. My 210 right there. Arcanist, tenacity, healthy. Is this the best setup? No. My opinion, though, champion points, set them up how you want. There is a mathematical way to get them all set up to where you deal more damage. Google it. You ain't gonna find it here. I don't math. I drink beer and play video games and have giant rupees laying around. So 45 Elfborn, 100 Elemental Expert to get that 15% frost damage. Now I realize champion points changed. It's a lot front loaded now. Could I squeeze probably a little bit more DPS out by moving these around to like spell erosion and stuff? Probably. But I put all that in there because I want that 15% frost damage. Remember, frost damage is what we're going for. So 45 Master at Arms just increases my direct damage done by 17%. Good. 20 Thaumaturge because I got some AoEs going, or some damage over times going on. 61 Ironclad, 49 Hardy, 49 Elemental Defender, 28 Thick-Skinned, 11 Expert Defender, 7 Quick Recovery, 5 Bastion. 5 Bastion because I'm running that Iceheart, which is a damage shield, and Harness Magicka, which we're about to get into skills right now. So those are my champion points. Is it the best? No, but we're casuals, right? So we're just going to derp around and be bad. Just kidding. Alright, so the abilities. Let's start with the Warden. Alright, so Animal Companions. So on my front bar, my main attack bar, we'll just start with the bar itself. So my first ability on here is Winter's Revenge. Skewer enemies with an icy shards, dealing 2,220 frost damage at the targeted area every 1 second for 12 seconds. So every 1 second for 12 seconds, we again are trying to proc Winterborn. But the 220 damage isn't bad. It's good. It's a good dot. Excuse me. Force Pulse. It deals flame, shock, and frost. Okay. My frost, you can see here's a little bit more, about 100 more than the flame and frost because of all my passives and stuff, buffing up my frost damage. That's all we're worried about is that frost damage. Remember, trying to get Winterborn to proc. The rest is good. This is our main spammable. It's single target and AoE. It cleaves. It's got a cleave mechanic to it. So up to the bottom part there, up to 2 enemies nearby will take 3k magic damage if they were already afflicted with burning, chilled, or concussed, which we affect them with chilled, and you're going to see in the rotation here. Blue Betty, call a Betty Netch. This is just restoring our magicka and giving us major sorcery, increasing our spell damage by 20%. So we keep that up. Bird of Prey, we use this. The Expedition's nice, but I'm just in it for the Minor Berserk, increasing damage done by 8%. Inner Light, using it for the max magicka while slotted through the Mages Guild passive, and giving us Major Prophecy, increasing our spell critical. So we always have Major Prophecy. The ultimate that I keep on the front bar is Northern Storm because we get an 8% increased magicka while it's slotted. So I want the more magic up on the front bar where we're spamming all our damage at. But it is a very strong AoE. It's super strong. Of course, it deals frost damage, so it'll proc Winterborn. But it's going to reduce incoming damage by 30%. It's huge. And like I said, we're up close fighting, so this is very beneficial. My back bar, which is what we open with, Unstable Wall of Frost, again with the frost damage. It's going to hold for 6 seconds and damage them every second. And then when the effect ends, it deals 3k damage. You'll see it when I use it out. Harness Magicka, of course, this is just an extra damage shield since we are going to be fighting up close. We want that extra mitigation. Plus, it restores Magicka when we're hit. I think it's up to 3 times. Yep. Alright, Ice Fortress is just another buff for us. It's a self buff. It increases our physical resistance and spell resistance and gives us minor protection, reducing our damage by 8%. So, we use these because, like I explained, we're going to be in the middle of these groups, fighting, dealing damage. So we want to mitigate as much damage as we can. Alright, Arctic Blast. This is what we use. We use this as a buff too before we run in. Gives us, it heals us for 10% of our max health instantly, and then an additional 2% health every 2 seconds for 10 seconds. But what I use it for, I'm not worried about the health. I want to use the bottom part here. Enemies in the area will take almost 1,000 frost damage every 2 seconds for 10 seconds. That's just another source of frost damage that we're using to proc Winterborn. This I use as a flex spot. Enchanted Growth is working the best for me because I kind of use it when I need that extra recovery, that 10% recovery right there, and healing's nice. Or we can just keep Inner Light there to have the crit on both. Either way works. We'll do that for this demonstration. So, and then the ultimate here is Ice Comet. It is the Mages Guild ultimate. It's the frost damage morph. Because, like I said, we're revolving around frost damage. So 15k frost damage to all enemies in the area, knocking them back, stunning them, reducing their movement speed by 50% after impact. For 12 seconds, we're dealing 4k frost damage every second. Again, with the ability to proc Winterborn and an AoE. So, going off of the abilities we just saw in Winterborn and Iceheart, you can kind of see where it's all synergizing together, focusing around all these frost damage outputs to get that to proc. Now let's do passives real quick. Under Animal Companion, I don't really care about this one. I don't really need to restore the health, but when the Betty Netch is unsummoned, we gain 12k health. Cool. Savage Beast, activating Animal Companion ability grants 4 ultimate, which is good because we use both of these, so we're getting 4 ultimate when you use these. Flourish, increase your magic and stamina recovery by 12% if an Animal Companion ability is slotted. So we have one slotted, so increases our magic recovery by 12%. Perfect. That's what I need. Advanced Species, 2% damage increase done for each Animal Companion slotted. Current bonus 4% because I have Betty Netch, or Blue Betty, and Bird of Prey slotted. Cool. So, works out pretty good. Green Balance. These are all Healy stuff, so we're not using the heal on this demonstration, but I just keep them all just in case. Winter's Embrace. Alright. Increase the chance of applying chilled to enemies with Winter Embrace by 200%, which is good because we want to apply chilled. It reduces damage by 15%. Increase my physical and spell resistance by 500 for each Winter's Embrace ability slotted. Our main bar we have 2, so we're gaining 1,000 physical and spell resistance. Good. Icy Aura, reduce the effectiveness of stairs applied to me. So good for PvP. Now, here's another one. Piercing Cold. Increase your magic and frost damage by 6%. Perfect. Because all we use is frost damage abilities. Weapon, Destro Staff. Okay. This is very important. You need to pay attention to this. If you want to run this build in a group and you don't want to tank, you just want to do damage, do not choose Trifocus. Because with Trifocus, your fully charged frost heavy attacks taunt the enemy for 15 seconds and grant a damage shield. If you want to do damage, please, I'll give you all my rupees. Don't choose this passive because you'll get trolled really hard in dungeons. Trust me, I've been there. So, just don't even choose Trifocus. Penetrating magic, destruction staff abilities ignore 10% of the enemy spell resistance. Good. Elemental focus, increase your chance to apply chilled status, which is what we're worried about, by 100% with my destruction staff abilities. Ancient knowledge, frost staff reduces the cost of blocking by 30%. Okay, I don't really block that much, but cool. I kept it anyway. Destruction expert, restore 3600 magicka when you kill an enemy with a destruction staff ability. Very important because we spam force pulse once we get all our dots down. We spam force pulse, so we're getting magicka back. And just pay attention to my health bar and my magic bar. Pay attention to my health bar when I'm fighting to see how little damage I take and how much magic I can keep up. Armor, light armor running 5 light, so of course we have all the light armor passives. Harness magicka. We have these 3 heavy armor passives, okay, for their bonuses. And like I said, we're high elf for elemental talent. That's 10 between elemental talent and the Winter's Embrace passive. We're at 10% increased frost damage. Awesome. So what I'm gonna do now is real quick up here demonstrate without fighting anything how I open up into fights. So when we're getting ready to engage, what we're gonna do is pop our Blue Betty. All right. Do our Falcon's Swiftness. Switch bars. Arctic Blast. All right, and then put up our damage shield there. Arctic Blast is very important because it's dealing damage. And then we're going to want to lay down Unstable Wall. Winter's Revenge. And then start spamming light attacks and Force Pulse. Okay? So it'll look like this. Betty Netch, Falcon Swiftness, Ice Fortress, Arctic Blast, Unstable Wall, Winter's Revenge, spam. And then that was Unstable Wall finishing. So that's what it's going to look like when we open up the fights. Now we are going to run down here and hopefully find a group that isn't being the hell farmed out of it. Move a little bit deeper. All right. All right, we'll buff up. Arctic Blast, Unstable Wall. All right. Wait for combat down. Okay, so there was only 4 mobs. This wasn't the best. We'll do one more before we move on to the second part. Right there, Winterborn. That's the proc we were looking for. It didn't do too much damage. Looks like it proc twice during that fight. Within a 4.5 second fight, it proc twice. It didn't even proc on that one, and I'll show you a fight where it'll proc. We'll just fight this guy. Alright, so we're going to buff up. Betty Netch, Falcon, Ice Fortress, Arctic Blast, Ice Comet, Unstable Wall. Alright, we had a little bit of help from that Templar, but that's cool. What the hell was his name? The Silent Colossus. Okay. Of course, Ice Comet came in with the most damage, followed by Force Pulse, Light Attack, Unstable Wall, Force Pulse, Winter's Revenge, and Winterborn. So it's proccing just about every fight, which is good. Procced a couple times on that one. Fight lasted 12 seconds. We did almost 40k DPS. Is it the best? No. But like I said, we're casuals, so we're not looking for the best. We're just looking to have fun. We'll hit up one more group before we go to my player home and my target skeleton. Oh, shiny. Sorry. Sorry. 1 second. Busy. Okay, I needed that. Alright. I'm an idiot. Didn't have any food up, so let's get the food up. Do this last demonstration before we move on. Man, this place is packed. I picked the worst spot to do a demonstration in. The worst. Which is fine. So, with my food, I'll go over the stats real quick. On my front bar, where we're dealing most of the damage, over 4k, or 40k, max magicka, 16 health. Almost 19k magicka recovery, which is good. So this is where we're at. 64 in magicka and 0 and 0 in both. Like I said, we are running 5 light, 1 heavy, 1 medium. Going for all divines, but we don't have them all, so... So, this one is the parts I wanted to show you. So, Winterborn obviously was our main damage dealer. It procced a few times there. Twice, it looks like. Yeah, 16k, procced twice. That's what we're going for. That, most of the time, is what it's going to look like. A lot of times it'll fall down to maybe 4 or 5. But, Light Attack, Frozen Weapon, Iceheart, Force Pulse, Arctic Blast, Unstable Wall, and Winter's Revenge are all working to proc Winterborn. And that's what we want to go for. Iceheart is up most of the time, around 50% of the time, 50 to 100% of the time. So, you've seen it in action there. I want to do a quick gear demonstration at my manor. Fast respawn rate. So trash dies really fast, so this build's great for farming dungeons, farming public dungeons and stuff like that for the gear you need and stuff. It's very solo friendly. Okay, we're gonna run to my overlook real quick. I want to show you a few things on the target dummy, and then we're gonna wrap it up. If this load screen would hurry. So like I was saying though, it's a flavor build. People who want to play Cryomancer, want to RP, that kind of stuff, if that's what you're into, this is kind of the build for you. Before we get started, I do want to do one quick shout out to Blue Note Backer. He is the one who crafted me this amazing stave, because I am all about appearance, and I wanted to look great for this video. And it goes good with the color scheme I have on the Winterborn. The body piece, that's Winterborn, that's what it looks like. I'm not wearing a costume. And those are the Iceheart shoulders. So, thank you, bro, for the staves. He sent them to me in the mail and didn't even ask anything for in return, so I need to give him something back for that. Okay, so, the second part of the video, I just kind of want to describe the different things that the gear does. So, first I'm just going to demonstrate how everything in our kit is going to proc Winterborn. We will start with our light attacks. It's going to take a minute. Just pay attention to his feet. Okay, see that ice spike that came up? That's Winterborn. So 9k damage right there, straight up. There it was again. See, it procced a second time right there. So our light attacks proc it. Now we'll use Unstable Wall and show you that it procs it. See, bam, Unstable Wall procced it right away. So we're already sitting on 3 procs that quick. Alright, so Unstable Wall procced it. So now we are going to use Arctic Blast, where we'll just stand close. You can see we're just standing close, we're doing damage to him. Oh, we're really digging for that 8% here right now. There it is. There it goes. Okay, there's Winterborn again. So far, our light attacks, our Unstable Wall, and our Arctic Blast have procced it, which is good. So now what we're going to go for is Winter's Revenge. I'm going to explain the effect on me here in a minute. It's actually Iceheart. So there it goes. So Winter's Revenge procs Iceheart. Or, I'm sorry, Winterborn. I procced it again. So even the damage over time does it. Alright, and then Force Pulse. There he goes. Force Pulse procs Winterborn. Now, the effect you see on me is Iceheart. That's my 2-piece monster helm. So, all of our abilities that I just showed you have procced it. So now what I'm going to show you, I'm going to try to do some critical damage here with my fists. Come on, Iceheart. I'm just trying not to do any frost damage to proc Winterborn, because I want Iceheart to show you that it can proc Winterborn. There we go. There it goes. Our monster set procs Winterborn. So there you have it. Which ultimate should I show you? Because I'm only going to show you one, because I'm not going to make you suffer through me gaining 200 more ultimate to show you both ultimates. So, I promise you Ice Comet does. I just want to show you the new Frost ultimate. The Warden one will proc Winterborn. There it goes. First pop. We'll see if we can get a second one out of it for its duration. Nope, no luck. Anyway, there you go. So what do we got? How many abilities we got to do? 1, 2, 3 with our ultimate, 4, 5, 6 with that ultimate, 7 with our light attacks, 8 with Iceheart, 9 with our frost damage enchantment. So, 9 different sources we have working to proc Winterborn. I run the Thief Mundus Stone. I'm a stage 4 vampire for the recovery. Thief is just, it's kind of the best Mundus Stone. You can honestly run whatever you want. It doesn't matter. You need more recovery, run the Serpent. Is it the Serpent? I don't know what it is for Magicka. I'm having a night. So, we'll just do real quick. Show the rotation here. We'll just go till Iceheart quits. That's it. And we'll back off. We're sitting at about a solid 18k DPS right there. Is it the best? No. But who cares? It's fun. And when you're with a group of like-minded people, and you're all having fun, it doesn't matter how much damage you're doing, as long as you can get through the content, you're good. I don't want to say anything about min-maxing. I don't do it. I don't have time. So just that short, what was that, 22 seconds we just did right there. Winterborn, I mean, it's not all great, but you're running on RNG right there. Sometimes you're 8%, you're going to get it more often than not. And that's it, guys. That is my build video. It's trashy, so leave your comments below if you're gonna troll me. Hey, casual, your build's trash. Thanks. At least I squeezed a view out of you. You're probably not gonna hit like, but if you feel inclined to, go ahead and hit like. That would be great. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments, or you can get at me at Twitter, casual_ranger. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. It's crap, I know, but it's fun. So keep it real, and I will talk to you later. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter if you want. Subscribe to this channel. That'd be great too. Whatever you want to do. I got beer to drink, so I'm going to hit stop record, and yeah, bye.